Alright, folks, it's time for UFC 242 predictions. Khabib taking on Poirier, and of course, this one's coming out from the United Arab Emirates, that great nation out in the Middle East where, they throw gays off buildings and women are literally treated as chattel property. But, on the plus side, I hear they have a lot of great pizza buffets. So, they got their priorities straight. It's always good quality pizza buffets first, human rights second. So, bravo, UFC. Okay, so the main event here, we got Khabib Nurmagomedov taking on Dustin Poirier, whose nickname is the Diamond, which obviously draws allusions to Dustin Diamond, who played Screech on Saved by the Bell. Now, why you'd want to do that to further your MMA career, I don't know, but whatever. Also, I wasn't really aware that Khabib's nickname was the Eagle, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It should be the Bear, because we all know he grew up fighting cubs in a living, because in Russia, the rules of normal child rearing just don't apply. Forget it. Um, so yeah, this should be a really, really interesting matchup. I think, if you want to pick a guy to go in there against Khabib, Dustin Poirier is the kind of guy you want because he's all heart. He's all swinging. He will fight you until both of his arms are broken. You're gonna have to basically, beat this guy half dead before, he surrenders, which is exactly what Khabib does. I've been watching MMA for, close to 30 years now. And I don't think I've ever seen a guy whose ground and pound is just so lethal as Khabib. I mean, you go back to that match he had against Michael Johnson, where that's the first time in a long time that I thought to myself, man, a guy could actually be killed on live television. This guy is just beyond brutal. And Poirier, he's good. He's a very sound striker. He's very technical. But can he match the all-around intensity of Khabib? Um, let's look at the stats before we make an assumption here. Strikes per minute favors Poirier. Significant strikes about dead even. The strikes absorbed per minute, 3.69 from Poirier. That does not bode well for him at all in this match. Khabib better defense, grappling. Well, that kind of tells the story right there, doesn't it? The Khabib 5.9 takedowns per 15 minutes, 1.75 for Poirier. Takedown defense favors Khabib. Submission averages 1.32 for Dustin Poirier, just 0.59 for Khabib. So yeah, pretty much the story of this fight is, you look at, Khabib, it's obvious what he's going to do. He's going to take him down. He's going to ground him out. It's going to take about 3 or 4 rounds, but eventually he's just going to smother Poirier, and that's it. It's like putting out a campfire. You just keep blanketing it. So Poirier, does he have a chance? I think maybe if he catches him striking early, but like I said, Khabib, he's just got really good, standing defense, and his grappling is just world class. I don't think Poirier has an answer for that. And I think the other, fluke thing that might happen, I think Poirier might have a shot at submitting Khabib, but, it'd have to be like a wild, just complete fluke thing, like, happened in the 4th round where, Khabib's just, pounding the crap out of him, and he slips up and he gets a hammerlock. I mean, something like that, which I think, there's like a 1% chance of that happening. Not saying it couldn't happen, but probably not. So yeah, all signs point to it should be good. The first round should be very exciting. The second round, could be half and half, but from there on out, if this thing goes 5 rounds, Khabib's going to win without question. And I think Khabib actually doesn't need 5 rounds. I think he wins 4 rounds, TKO, round and pound domination, as always. And at that point, you got to start asking yourself, as dominant as Khabib is at 155, is it time for him to move up to welterweight? Because I think there could be some very, very intriguing matchups there. All right, looking at the rest of the card, we've got Edson Barboza taking on Paul Felder. Remember when Edson Barboza was like the next Jose Aldo? Or Jose Aldo, my bad, sorry. Everybody gets mad when I mispronounce their names. So we got the Brazilian taking on the Irish Dragon in the United Arab Emirates. It's like the Captain Planet fight right here. So, let's see. Look at the stats real quick here. Anything jumping out at me? Significant striking seems to favor Edson. Grappling, kind of a push here. Surprising. Submissions favoring Paul Felder. No real reason here. I'm going to go with Edson Barboza. I think he wins a unanimous decision over Paul Felder. I mean, it could be entertaining. Probably not going to be a match of the night or anything like that, but it's there. Probably not the best co-main event you could do for this, but it is what it is. Alright, obviously since this is happening in the UAB, you're going to have a lot of Islamic and, Dagestani fighters here. I'm not saying those two are mutually exclusive. You can't be Dagestani and Muslim, of course, but you know what I mean. They're getting a lot of guys whose last names are really, really hard to spell. So we got Islam Makhachev taking on Davi Ramos, the Tasmanian Devil. This should be a good one. It's Russia taking on Brazil. Both these guys are really talented. They don't lose a lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. What I have seen, I've been pretty impressed. Significant strikes tends to favor Davi, but strike defense favors Islam. Grappling, slight advantage towards Islam. You know what? I'm going to go with Islam Makhachev to win this one by unanimous decision. I know it's a very, very cowardly selection, but it's what we do. Alright, Curtis Blades taking on Shamil Abdarkhimov. I'm probably mispronouncing that. It could be Blades. I know, just the way it is. This has got to be a heavyweight matchup, right? Light heavyweight, the absolute minimum. No, this is a heavyweight for sure. So it's another U.S. versus Russia matchup. I like seeing those. Significant striking favors Curtis. Grappling definitely favors Curtis. 6.79 to 1.5 right there. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to go with Curtis Blades to win this one. I think he wins by second round submission. Also, Shamil, he looks like the kind of guy who, runs a kebab stand in Brooklyn. Like his name should be like Ahmed, and then, he doesn't like it when, you order more than 2 sandwiches at once, or you want extra, sauce on your falafel. Just an observation. Just want to throw that out there. Alright, and curtain jerking on our main card, it's Mirbek Tasimov taking on Diego Ferreira. Another Russia-Brazil matchup, and all these guys are really, really hairy. Like, I don't know what that is about, the Middle East and their physiology, but these guys, they're all half Sasquatch. Alright, so look at the metrics real quick. Significant strikes favors Diego, but strike defense favors Tasimov. Grappling favors Tasimov. Takedown defense favors Tasimov. I'm going to go with Tasimov to win. Unanimous decision. Real simple, I know, but hey, the stats work, the stats work. Alright, let's take a look at the undercard here. Now, right off the bat, there's a couple of things that are shocking me. Like, for real, are they actually going to let women fight on this card in the United Arab Emirates? Are they not doing this like somewhere else, like some satellite site off in, the Red Sea? Oh boy. Like, seriously, I'm shocked by that. I didn't know they let women fight and have rights and, voice their opinion about things in Dubai, but apparently they do. Alright, so Joanne Calderwood taking on Andrea Lee. Let's see what we got here. It's a UK versus US matchup, so I'm going to root for the US girl, even though her stats aren't quite as good. Actually, her defense is a lot better than Joanne. Grappling favors Joanne. I'm going to go with Andrea Lee to get the upset here. I think she wins a unanimous decision victory. Alright, following up, we got Zubara Warrior Tukhagov taking on Lerone the Miracle Murphy. Not familiar with either of these two guys. In fact, Lerone Murphy is actually a shadow, which is kind of spooky. I don't know how you train for that. And of course, Zubara over there is actually half pixelated. So no data at all on Lerone Murphy, so we just got to make a judgment call on this based on their names. Lerone is 5-0, but Zubara is fighting in, I guess, among his peoples. So I'm going to go with Zubara to win by, let's see what his stats are as far as finishing. Win by KO decision. Oh, he gets a lot of decisions. Yeah, he's going to win by unanimous decision. Real simple. We got Liana Juja taking on Sarah Cheesecake Morris, which is funny because she looks kind of skinny. She probably needs to eat more cheesecake. Actually, I'd love some cheesecake right about now. It's just an aside, but once again, we don't really have a lot of information on Liana. She's from Georgia, not the state, the country. Taking on Sarah Morass from Canada, and she looks Canadian. Like, you just kind of take a look at her and say, yep, I bet she speaks both Canada and French. English Canadian and French. Like, she can tell me where the color pencils are in both English and Quebecese. So, yeah, I'm going to be a charlatan here because I don't really know anything about either of these two fighters, so making a sound judgment on either one is just being preposterous. But I'm going to go with Sarah Morass just because this is actually her debut fight. Because, I don't know, whatever. Alright. God, so many fights I don't really care about. We got Otman Azater taking on Timu Paco Pakalon. Do I even want to guess what his nationality is here? They don't list it. So he's got a really dumb mustache, so probably American. No stats for Ottman, so again, I'm being a charlatan here, but he looks way too much like Gavin McInnes for him to win. So I'm going to go with Ottman by second round stoppage. And, oh god, there's more. It just doesn't end, does it? Oh, for God's sake, there's 4 more fights. I want to do this very quick just because I'm hungry. I'm going to get out of here. Belal Muhammad. Remember when he was being marketed as a big name and now he's fighting on the Facebook fights? Taking on Takashi Sato, which actually could be a good fight. I'm going to go with Belal Muhammad wins by a second round knockout. We got Nordine Talib taking on Muslim Salikov, who is known as the King of Kung Fu. So it's Russia taking on France. He's a Russian Muslim Kung Fu guy, so I got him winning by second round TKO. Omari Akhmedov taking on Zach Cummings. Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Zach Cummings actually get like a title shot at one point? Because, like, somebody called in sick the day of the fight. I can't remember who he fought, but it was something preposterous. So it's Omari Wolverine Akhmedov taking on Zach Cummings. Like, didn't he feel like Daniel Cormier or somebody? Okay, it's been a long time. Significant strikes favored. You know, I'm going to go with Omari by split decision. And our opening fight, Don Madge looking like Randy Orton taking on Ferris, the smile killer as I am. It's a lightweight contest. I'm going to go with, well, I think obvious one here. I'm going to go with Dan Madge to win by, that's right, second round RKO. The only thing he can win by. Alright, so I'm not going to lie to you and say there's a lot of good fights on this show, but at least the main event should be entertaining, and there's a couple of undercard bouts that could have some, you know, glimmers of awesomeness. So yeah, that's it. Those are my picks for UFC 242 coming live from the United Arab Emirates on Saturday. Feel free to take these picks to the bank. You'll make a lot of money if you do, but remember, we don't encourage gambling as they're all for entertainment purposes, and whatever you do, don't beat up your wife, because that's not cool no matter what your religious book says. Alright, that's all I got. I'm out.